Budgeting for an irregular income can be a really tricky and quite a scary situation. One month you might earn really well, and the next month or the next couple of months you might not earn enough to support the budget that you originally had. Having a correct strategy for budgeting for irregular income is really important. Hi guys, gals and non-budget pals, welcome to Budget with Ira. If you're new here, my name is Ira, and on this channel we talk about budgeting, paying down debt and saving up for the life that you truly deserve. If that sounds like something you'd like to watch, please consider subscribing to the channel because we do have fun here, bestie. We really do. So in today's video, I'm going to give you some tips on how to manage your budget for an irregular income. Because bestie, it can be really hard, and I have learned a couple of things since I have been self-employed. I've learned that I don't earn the same money every single month. One month will be absolutely amazing and I'm so thankful for it, but sometimes months I just can't do the things that I want to. My goals become stretched and things like that, so it does become hard. In today's video we're going to be going through my top 5 tips on how to budget for an irregular income. Let's get started, bestie. Tip number 1 is to track your income. So it's important to understand how much money is coming in and when it is coming in. So if you do freelance work, understanding how long it's going to take for the company to pay you after you've invoiced them, but also if you're doing things like selling from Etsy, knowing when you're going to get paid each and every single month. Having a strategy around that is also quite key as well. There's a couple of ways to do it, and I'll go over 2 right now. If you have a list of how much income that you're getting month by month, and you can backdate it as long as you can, maybe a year, something like that. What you can do from that is find out on average how much you're earning each month, and you can do a rough budget based on that. But also, if you want to be really careful, what you can do is you can take the data from the month where you earn the least, so that you know that when you budget with just that money, you know that you're probably going to be able to afford everything because that's the least you've ever been paid. So understanding what could be the worst case scenario and also what is probably going to happen in terms of your average salary is super important. But also really understanding when that money is coming in and how much is coming in is crucial for your budget. Having this type of information will help you plan your expenses and adjust your habits accordingly. Tip number 2 is to build an emergency fund. Irregular income can be unpredictable, so having a strategy or a fallback plan if things really go wrong is so important. And even if things don't go wrong, knowing that you have that allows you to sleep a lot better at night, trust me, bestie. So an emergency fund, people say, should be between 3 months and 6 months of expenses. I would err on the side of caution and try to get yourself in a position where you've got 6 months worth of expenses, because if you fall ill or if something really bad happens, you've got that money there just to go straight away. So this should be in a separate savings account that you contribute to regularly. For me, I started this up in cash, and as it became more than £1,000, it started to become a digital thing so that I can grab that if and when I need it. Once you've got that 3 to 6 month cushion, should anything unexpected happen or a massive gap in income, you've got that to rely on. And that allows you to feel a lot more comfortable and get things done. Tip number 3 is to prioritize your expenses. When you have irregular income, some months you may not be able to afford the little luxuries that you would normally allow in your budget. So what my tip would be to do is to list down all of your non-negotiables, the things that absolutely have to happen: rent, food, transportation, things like that. And then what you're left with is things that you can live without but you'd like to keep. What you can then do is, if a month becomes particularly tight, you can just shrink it down and go for your basics, the things that absolutely have to happen, and maybe allow 1 or 2 of those things that you allow. For instance, you might want to cut back on eating out or cut down on daily non-essential purchases. For me, one time I had to consider not having Netflix for a month and things like that, just in order to make sure that you're going to get through the month, because you know you can flex up and down. So having that list of things that must happen and things that you would like to happen is super important. Tip number 4 is to use the envelope system. And the cash envelope system, bestie, is my bread and butter. It's allowed me to get out of debt, and it's allowed me to cap my spending. Essentially how it works is you have an envelope full of have cash for particular categories. So for instance, you might have one for groceries, gas, eating out, entertainment, things like that. What you'd then do is you'd stuff that for the month with the cash that you're going to use. And then essentially you just use it. But when that cash runs out, you know that you've reached your limit and you stop spending on that category. It allows you to limit how much you're going to spend and allows you to budget as well. Sometimes if you've got a bank account with a gross amount of money, sometimes you don't know how much you're spending on different categories. So it's really important to find a way to say, well, my budget for groceries is £200 or $200 and that's all I'm going to spend. Throughout the month, if you've got it in cash, sometimes it can really help. So that has really helped me, and if there's anything I'd like to impart on you in this video, it is the cash envelope system works. Tip number 5 is to adjust your budget regularly. Finally, it is super important for you to have flex within your budget. So like I said with all the other points, making sure that you have a rough budget based off of the worst case scenario or what you'll tend to do, and understanding what must happen and what can happen within your budget is really important. So that if you're having a super great month, you know that you've got excess money and you know what to do with that. Don't just fritter it away. Make sure that you're building your emergency fund, for instance, or paying down debt. But also if you're having a month that is particularly tight, being able to shut it down, slim your budget down to as small as possible, and make sure you're paying for the things that really matter, like the roof over your head. Having flex in your budget is super important, because if you don't have the money for it, you can't budget for it. Being able to cut down on expenses is really important in your tough months, but also understanding what to do with excess money when it's going well is equally as important. Creating a budget for irregular income can be incredibly tough, but once you get the hang of it, bestie, trust me, it'll be brilliant. So just remember to stay on top of your budgeting. You need to make sure that you track your income, build an emergency fund, prioritize your spending, use the cash envelope system, and adjust your budget regularly, and you're onto a winner, bestie. Thank you so much for getting through to the end of the video. You know I love it when you get through to the end of the video. Please give this video some love. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you are going to comment, please use this emoji. Thank you so much to everybody who watched this video. I hope it was useful to you. If you are someone who is on irregular income, like you're freelance, or you're like me, you run an Etsy store and a YouTube channel and things like that, hopefully these tips can help, because it's taken me a while to sort of figure them out, and like some of them seem like no-brainers, but at the same time it's like it's hard sometimes. Thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you even more to the Patreons who support me and the channel members. Without you, I can't do this. So thank you just from the bottom of my heart, bestie, because you are truly making a difference to me. If you would like to become a Patreon or a YouTube member, please take a look at the link in the description. You will not regret it, bestie. That is it for today's video. I have great things planned for you, but until then, I would like you to have a wonderful day, have a wonderful week, have a wonderful budget. Always remember, don't trust Ira. And bestie, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.